This is the 10th video in our series on flowing more money in your life with gratitude and generosity. If you haven't watched the first video, check that out first down below and then work up to this point. In this video, we're talking about what's your financial set point, okay? A financial set point, we're talking about like a goal, and we could say goal here. We're using set point though to distinguish something that's a little bit different than a goal. By a set point, we mean it's like the point that your energy can handle. It's what your body and your spirit and your emotions, what your faith is ready to create for you. It's that set point you're ready to work towards. And unlike goals, it's not going to happen at a specific time. Okay. If you try to force something to happen by a specific time using the methodologies we're talking about in these videos, it's going to get in the way because it creates this like need, like you're trying to force it. You're just going to let it happen whenever it happens. So it's different than a goal in that way. Okay, so we're going to use the word set point. Now, when we get into this with this set point thing, I'm gonna have you think of a set point on the following topics. So you're gonna have a set point for your monthly income, right? So what's the monthly income you're ready to start working towards? What's the yearly income you're ready to start working towards? What is the amount of savings you're ready to start working towards? The amount you'll accumulate in your savings account. What's that? And these next two, you might also think about how many hours per week do you want to be working to have this income? You know, like you could work towards this really high monthly income, but you're working so many hours a week that is it really what you want, right? So we're talking about what's the monthly income and how many hours a week are you working to create that monthly income? And then what's the type of work? What kind of work are you doing to create it? Now, like I said, we're trying to find out here what your body and your spirit are ready for, right? So someone might say, hey, I'm going to go run a marathon. But if their body's not ready for it, they just can't. So we're going to find out what you're ready for. 5 years from now, you might be ready for something different than you're ready for in the near future. And we're talking about what you're ready for in the near future. Because we're going to figure out what your set point is for these things in the near future, and then you can work towards it. And then after you reach it, then you can set new set points farther out in the future. Okay, so you're gonna write these things down. So get a piece of paper, get a pen, write them down, and get ready to have a really special time with this. In the very first video, I talked about how our family doubled our income our first month of applying these principles. When we started applying these principles, we really felt that it was right to set a set point that was double our income. We set that and it happened within a month. We didn't decide how quickly it would happen. We just said we're going to double our income. For us, happened in a month. Now after that, like I said in the first video, our income went back down after that. And I think that our energy was ready to do that at first, and then it wasn't anymore. And then after that, we started doing set points that were a little smaller. We did a big one, then we started working towards smaller ones and gradually increasing. And that worked better for us. For some reason, for us, it worked really well to have a big set point to start and then see that we could do it and then work towards smaller set points. I don't know what set point's best for you. Some people say that it's best to start with a set point that's not too high. Maybe only like 10% more than you're currently making. If you're currently making, or maybe even more than like 25% more. I don't know. I've heard people say that if you're making $4,000 a month right now, your set point, maybe it'd be good like 5,000 for a set point. In our case though, we felt to double it. So who knows? I'm going to help you figure out a set point, but be careful. I would warn to be careful about just going after what sounds exciting to you. And I'll teach you how to be honest with your body and your spirit of what you're ready for. And we'll figure that out. Okay. I'm going to lead you through a meditation right now that's going to help you figure out your set point. It's a very short meditation, Be ready to write. Make sure if you don't have paper or pen, pause the video and get that because you're going to write at the end of this meditation. Okay, so here we go. I hope you're ready. Close your eyes. Breathe just a little bit. Focus on your breathing. Look deep inside yourself. Look to the part of your body where you feel your deepest intuition is, your deepest, most trustworthy self. The part of your body you can listen to and most trust. Where is that in your body? Identify that place and go to it now. Put your attention in that place and breathe. Be aware of a bubble going around you. And this bubble is going to protect you from being deceived as you do this. Put into this bubble generosity and gratitude, love, joy. Fill the whole bubble up with these emotions and let greed and ego and lack of self-worth, doubt, let those things exist outside the bubble. Breathe in the gratitude and generosity into your bubble. Breathe out. Let the other stuff, greed and ego, leave the bubble. Keep doing this as you breathe in and out. Fill your bubble with gratitude and generosity. Let ego and greed and self-doubt leave the bubble. Okay, with your bubble ready to go, look to the spot in you where your deepest intuition is and ask yourself, what's my financial set point for monthly income? And write it down. Ask yourself, what's my financial set point for yearly income? And write it down. Ask yourself, what's my financial set point for the money accumulated in savings? Hear the answer from yourself and write it down. If you want to, you can also ask yourself, how many hours per week will I work to achieve this? Write it down. Achieve might not be the right word. How many hours will I work as I'm receiving this? And ask yourself the final question, what kind of work do I do? Write down a multitude of answers that come to your head. It might be good if you can do this. If your partner or other family members are open to this, you could do this together and compare answers. Or you can do it by yourself if that's more appropriate for your situation. Now you've written down some things. Say thank you. Say thank you to yourself, thank you to your bubble, thank you to your higher power, thank you to anyone, any spiritual identities, beings that helped you. Say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, you wrote your set points down. Now I'm going to have you do this. Look at your set points that you wrote down. And I want you to tap now. I want you to ask yourself, is there any part of me that doubts these set points? And tap. What negative reactions do I have to these set points? And just tap anything that comes up when you look at your set points. This is a great chance actually to bring up some feelings about money. So you look at your set points, tap anything. And I'm about to move on, so you can pause this video and do that tapping until you're done. And then come back. Okay, when you're done tapping, take a deep breath. Breathe in light. Breathe in gratitude and generosity. If you want to, you can even pause this video and go get a drink of pure, good water. Go spend some time outside, get some sunlight in your skin if you want to. You know, shake, kind of tap around your body. Just bring in goodness. And then be still. Just enjoy stillness. Now you're going to say your set points out loud. And when you say them out loud, I want you to listen to yourself. Listen right here, or another part of your body that resonates with you. And see if you feel gratitude and generosity when you say them out loud. So say your financial set point for monthly income out loud. When you say it out loud, do you experience gratitude and generosity? Say your yearly income set point out loud. Do you experience gratitude and generosity? Say each of your other set points out loud and ask yourself, when I say these out loud, do I feel gratitude and generosity? If you feel it, put a little check mark next to it. If you don't, that's okay. Just move on and do the next one. Pause this video if you need to keep doing that. I'm going to move on. Now, if you have a checkpoint on any of your things, that gratitude and generosity lets you know that you were listening well to yourself, you're listening well to your higher power when you did this. But if there's anywhere you couldn't feel gratitude or generosity while you were doing it, if you felt nothing at all, or you felt something like you felt some other feelings, particularly like low frequency kind of feelings, felt kind of off about it or something, then here's some things to think about. If you weren't feeling that gratitude or generosity as a verification, it could be that your set points aren't what's best for you. Maybe the set points that you picked, you need time to revisit them, right? And rethink them. They might not really, maybe it's good to go a little higher or a little lower. Either way. Maybe you can do more than that. And you're underselling yourself. Or maybe you're trying to go for far, maybe you're kind of being overzealous and you're going for farther than your body's ready for. And it's better to start a little lower and then work up to the one you had before. Or maybe something in you doesn't accept them. Maybe something in you feels like you have some emotional thing going on where you have some emotions that are getting in the way of accepting. Maybe these set points are good for you, but there's emotions that are blocking that. So if that's the case, tap or do write and burn. Do these techniques that will work through those emotions, then come back and look at your set point again and try and say it again. Or maybe your motives are in the way. Maybe the set point is just right, but the reason you want it isn't good for you. Maybe you want it with certain kind of you want to prove something to yourself, or like you have an ego thing, or you want to have power over others, or something like that. You might have some motive thing in the way. Maybe part of you still thinks money is evil, and that's getting in the way. Maybe part of you doesn't think you're really worthy of this, and that's getting in the way. Could be lots of things getting in the way. In that case, it's time to tap. Do the emotion clearing. So what I recommend doing here is do the emotion clearing to see if it's one of the second two things, and then try again. And if you're still not feeling it, then just go back earlier in this video and do the meditation again and do the set points and just, go back in time, right? Back to here. Go back to the part of the video where I do this, try it again, and then go through these same steps again. And it's okay, just be patient, take your time. This might take more than one session. If you're not feeling good about it right now, you might just need to move on and try again tomorrow. Just come back to this video and do what you need to do to get it working. And one last thing, I believe in you. You can do this. You got this. You can get your set points figured out. And once you have your set point, that's going to give you something to work towards. And that's going to make a big difference in applying these principles. Thank you so much to our supporters, these people on the screen. Thank you to any supporters who've popped up since I recorded this video, but before it premiered. I'm really grateful to you guys. I'm grateful for your generosity. And until the next video, enjoy your best self, one season at a time.